Capacity to contract, or you can call it competency to contract. Who are a competent party to get into a contract? Can anyone get into a contract? No, that's not like that. Competency of parties, again, a essential element of a valid contract given under section 10. Capacity of parties, again given under section 11. One of the essentials of valid contract, as I told you, is competency of party. Now, as per section 11, every person is competent to get into a contract. Now, with this every person, they have given some exceptions or some conditions, I will say. This every person is inclusive of some terminology. First one is who is of age of majority according to the law which he is subject, and who is of sound mind and who is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is a subject. Now, this every person is including person who is of the age of majority, who is of sound mind, who is not disqualified by law. But with that, they have given some exceptions also. Means a person who is not major is exception to it. A person who is not of sound mind is an exception to it. A person who is disqualified by law is again an exception to it. So the section 11 is giving a lot more than its word says. From the above provision of section, it means the following types of persons are not competent to contract. Minor, a person of unsound mind, person disqualified from contracting by some law. So that's why you can see it in the diagram. There are 3 persons lined up. So we'll be discussing all these 3 exception categories. Firstly, minor. Who is a minor? Minor is incompetent to contract as specified under section 11 of Indian Contract Act. Minor's incompetency is not a punishment, but it is a protection given to the minor by the law. The law becomes the guardian for the minor to protect the right of the minor because the mental capacity of the minor is not well developed. Now, how we can say the person of the age of 18 years can be a major? Yes, there is again a law for the same. Indian Majorities Act, specifically this beginning section 4 speaks about this particular aspect. The person who attains the age of 18 is called a person of major, can be called a person who is having the age of majority, and person who is below the age of 18 is called minor. So this particular definition have been given by Indian Majorities Act. Next are rules regarding this minor. Minor is not a competent party, as I told you, but then there are again lot of rules. No doubt he is not a competent party, but he can get into a contract or not. Let's have a look at it. An agreement by minor is absolutely void. Means any kind of agreement with a minor is wrong. So void agreement, or I should say call it a void ab initio, something which is wrong from the very beginning. He can be a promisee or a beneficiary. Now minor can't be a partner. He can be a beneficiary. So now what is beneficiary? Beneficiary is the person who can join an organization only to share the benefits, nothing else. No liabilities, no rights, only to share the benefits. His agreements can't be ratified by him on attaining the age of majority. Now suppose a minor has done something at the age of 10 years. Now he can't ratify or he can't even approve the same after attaining the age of 18 years. If he has received any benefit under a void agreement, he can't be asked to compensate or pay for it. Even if minor has received any kind of benefit under the void agreement, or you can call it a wrong agreement, then also no one can ask a minor to pay that benefit back to the other person. Minor can always plead minority. Now, this is a benefit given to the minor by law. Minor can anytime tell that I am a minor. He can plead minority. He can be an agent. Now, minor can be an agent. Why minor is allowed to be an agent? The reason being, who is the agent? Agent is the person who works on behalf of the principal. And principal is the person who holds responsibility for all the acts of the agent. So now the liability again comes on the principal who is hiring the minor as his agent. Over here also minor is not having any sort of liability. His parents or guardian are not liable for the contract entered into by him. Now, with regard to minor's contract, his parents and guardians are not liable. a minor is liable for necessaries. If minor had got into any kind of contract or agreement, so he can be made liable for necessaries, means his estates can be made liable for necessaries. Now, there can be no specific performance of the agreement entered into by the minor, as they are void ab initio, or there's something which is wrong from the very beginning. A contract entered into on behalf of a minor by his parents or guardian or any kind of manager of his estates can be expressly enforced by or against the minor, means minor के अगेंस्ट वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इन्फोर्स किया जा सकता है, पर कब किया जा सकता है? ओनली व्हेन दैट पर्टिकुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज विद इन द अथॉरिटी ऑफ द गार्जियन, मतलब गार्जियन के पास कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को करने का अधिकार क्षेत्र है। दूसरी चीज, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट माइनर के अच्छे के लिए किया जा रहा है, दैट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज गेटिंग डन फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ द माइनर, then only it can be implemented against the minor. So with that we have three exceptions. Contract for the benefit of minor. Now, if any contract which has been done for the benefit of minor, that is again an exception to this particular rule. Contract done by guardian, then also it is exception. Now, who will do contract on behalf of minor? The guardian will do the contract on behalf of minor. Contract for supply of necessary items, then the estates of minor can be made liable. Next, and the other incompetent party to contract is a person of unsound mind. Now, this particular section 12 of Indian Contract Act gives the definition for a person who is of sound mind. A person is said to be of sound mind for the purpose of making a contract if at the time when he makes it, he is capable of understanding it and of forming a rational judgment as to its effect upon his interest. Now, the person should be capable of making a particular decision, means a rational decision. He understands the nature of contract and the upcoming, forthcoming with that particular contract. कि उसका interest benefited है या नहीं है. He's understanding everything with regard to the contract. If he's understand, then he can be called as a person of sound mind. And a person who doesn't understand the nature of contract, who doesn't form a rational judgment as to the effects upon his interest, will be called as a person of unsound mind. Now, this particular definition is not only giving the definition for sound mind, this is also giving a light on the definition for the person of unsound mind. Next category of person who is incompetent to contract is person disqualified by law. So who are the persons who are disqualified by law? So we have a line of list. So let's look at them. First one is alien enemy. Who is the alien enemy? So we are not talking about a person who belongs from other planet. An alien is a person who is a foreigner to the land. He may be either an alien friend or an alien enemy. If the sovereign or state of the alien is at peace with the country of his stay, he is an alien friend. And if a war is declared between the two countries, he is termed as an alien enemy. अगर दो countries के बीच में war हो जाता है तो उस बंदे को क्या कहा जाएगा? That person will be called as a alien enemy. अगर कोई war situation नहीं है, peace situation है countries के बीच में, then he will be called as an alien friend. During the war, contract can be entered into with alien enemy with the permission of central government. Now, अगर war situation में आप contract करना चाहते हैं ऐसे person के साथ, then that should be done only with the permission of the central government. Only central government can give the permission for the same. Else, this alien enemy has been disqualified from doing any kind of contract by law. Second category is foreign sovereign or ambassadors. Now, foreign sovereign and their representatives enjoy certain privileges and immunities in every country. They can't enter into contract except through their agent residing in India. Now, वो खुद तो contract में enter हो नहीं सकते. They can only do it through their agents. If anyone is doing contract with them, they need to be very aware. Next category is convict. A convict cannot enter into a contract while he is undergoing imprisonment. And a convict is a person who has already been awarded punishment by a competent court. So, a person who has already been awarded punishment, so that person becomes a convict. And a convict is a person disqualified by law to get into a contract. Next category is insolvents. An insolvent person is one who is unable to discharge his liabilities and therefore has applied for being adjudged insolvent, or such proceedings have been initiated by any of his creditors An insolvent person can't enter into any contract relating to his property. Insolvent person, the person जो खुद के लिए खुद की liabilities discharge नहीं कर पाता है. For example, A has taken a particular loan of rupees 2 lakh and he is not able to repay the same. And he is also having a partnership in some XYZ company. Now, if he's not able to repay that particular loan, then the court can declare him incompetent as such, or the court can declare him insolvent. If the court declares him insolvent, then indirectly he will be declared as an incompetent person to get into a contract. Now, over here, there's one more thing, initiated by any of its creditors. So that's why I've given the other example. Other part of the thing was the person is a member or a partner of XYZ partnership firm, and the creditor of that particular partnership firm has initiated this insolvency proceedings against that particular person. So even if the proceedings have been initiated, then also you can't get into a contract with such person against whom this insolvency proceedings have been initiated. And if it has been declared by the court that the person is insolvent, then also the person has been disqualified by law. Next is company or statutory body. A contract entered into by a corporate body or statutory body will be valid only to the extent it is within its memorandum of association. Now, companies work as per their MOA, memorandum of association. It works according to the written concepts of memorandum of association. So now, if that particular thing is allowed by their MOA, then they are competent to contract. If it is not allowed by their MOA, then they are incompetent to get into a contract. So these are the category of persons who are disqualified by law. So for today's session with regard to competency of parties, or I should say the person who are incompetent to contract, has been done.